I've got a cluster earring here to show you this time, done in the same way as the cluster necklaces we've just done. Again, an assortment of beads. I've got my head pins, so pop a bead on there, bend it over at right angles like we have with all the others, cut off the excess. So it's a bit less than a centimetre. That's probably a bit too long actually, let me trim a little bit more of that. It's the very end of the wire, part way down the pliers, and then it's over the top, so it's a wrist action to bend it over the top. You get about halfway round and you can't complete the loop, so grip it with your pliers and then finish the loop off so it's touching back to itself nice and secure. I've got a few different ways of showing you. This was like the leaf we did earlier. The hole runs across the top rather than through the bead, so put it through the head pin and then bend the head pin right back over the top before you trim it off. And the loop again comes over the top, so you end up with a little bit like an S shape on there, but that just means that the loop's on top of that bead. These are mostly glass beads I've got here, and most of these beads have got a small enough hole in that the head pin doesn't come through it, but I am going to show you what to do in case you've got beads with a larger hole. So this pink one here, for example, has got a larger hole, and I've put that straight on the head pin. It's actually going to slide right off the end of it. So what I've got here are what are called plain cups. It's just like a little domed piece with a hole through it. And if you put that on your head pin first, what that does is just give you a bigger surface area on the bottom, which stops the beads with the bigger holes falling right off the end. So I can now put that bead on there and it won't fall off. Make the loop in just the same way as the others then. Back round with the round pliers. Now if you haven't got any plain cups, or for a different look, you can just pop a little bead on the bottom of the head pin first, which will stop the larger bead falling off it. So I've just got one more to do. So again, this is one where the hole runs across the top of it. I'm going to bend it right over and cut off so the loop comes back round. Now to make the earrings, I've made slightly smaller clusters. Again, it's up to you how large you want them. I just find on earrings I don't want anything quite so heavy. But we're going to put them together in the same way on a jump ring. So let's twist the jump ring sideways to open. I'm going to put 4 on each jump ring again, similar to how we did before, and then close it up. As I say, you can use your fingers for this, but I'll just use the pliers so you can see what I'm doing. So it's just twisting it back so that it should just sit back to itself quite nicely. Another jump ring, and again I've got 4 beads to go on here. Now this time, before I close it up, I'm going to hang this other cluster on there as well. So I've got them all together and then just join it up. So that's the cluster. I've got a long ball wire here, fish hook, people call them different things. You can use any type of ear wire, this is just my preferred choice. So I'm going to open up this loop just by putting the round nose pliers in, opening it up, then hanging one of those jump rings on there and then closing up that loop in the same way. So there you go, little pair of cluster earrings to match the necklace.